Hello, everyone. This is General Hand Grenade. Welcome to Prince George. The smoke has gone away today, but I've been telling you for the last little while about the forest fires around here. Man, yesterday you could hardly see down the street. It was maybe the worst day that we've had up here. I think there's a fire that's getting closer here, but summer's getting closer to ending, and it'll start raining more out there, and so that's a good thing. Anyway, there's a few things I want to talk to you about, mostly about events that are coming up and events that have passed, having to do with Axis and Allies. And I wanted to show you something here. I had an accident at work on Monday night. I don't want to get into it too much, but you can see what happened here. That's my dice rolling hand. So that's I'm going to be rolling dice with my left hand. What happened was I smashed the tip of my finger. So where the fingernail is here, there's no fingernail left anymore. And they thought it was shattered at first when I went to the hospital. They thought that they were going to have to amputate the end of my finger, but luckily it was only broken in one place. So uh, um, they don't have to amputate anymore. Although I am going to have to grow a new fingernail, and it hurts like hell. Let me tell you, I just had surgery on it yesterday, and does not feel too good. But such is life, isn't it? We all have these things that happen in life at times. But I'm still going to be going to the tournament next month in Toronto to the Grasshopper Invitational, and hopefully my partner will help me move my units around because you can imagine, like trying to pick up units like this, you'll just be knocking things everywhere, right? So I'm going to need a little help moving stuff around. I'm going to have to learn how to roll with my left hand, but after that I'll be fine. Anyway, so we're going to get into some of the. I've got a piece of paper here. We're going to get into some of the events that have happened or that will happen. First of all, there was the Origins Convention back in June in Columbus, Ohio, and I don't have any results from the tournament there. But if you go to, and I'll put a link to the video here, if you go to Jonathan Meyer's YouTube channel. He had a video there where he recapped what happened. He went to the origins, so he had a good video there where he talked about a lot about what happened at Origins there. But I don't have anything written down as far as who won what there. But Jonathan, he does an excellent job of he's very well spoken, and so you'll get a good idea what happened at Origins in Columbus if you follow the link to where his channel is, and also 2017 Gen Con. I do have the winners for that. So here, let me just pull that page up, and I'll get to that. So the anniversary edition, first place was Mike Samek and Eric Minster. The 1942 second edition, first place was Carl Vandergalen and James Nelson. Global 1942 was Dixon Butler. There says Dixon Butler Seacrest. I'm not sure if that's three names. Yeah, it looks like it's three names. 1914, Robert Sprague and Andrew Wells won that one. The AA50 backdraw tourney, first place was Faith and Roy Ugaretz. Classic second edition, first place was Barry Dano and Robert Fiorio. War at Sea Sealed League, first place was Tom Belan. War at Sea Battlefest was won by Greg Swenson. And Land Minis Battlefest was Dave Phillips. So congratulations to all those winners at Gen Con. And there is a write-up as well on axisandallies.org in the events, written by Tame Van. He wrote up a bit about his experience at the convention. Apparently, he had a nice costume, so I encourage you to go onto axisandallies.org into the into the events section of the forums and check out his little write-up about that. What else? Okay, those are events that have already happened. So events that are coming up this year, and there's going to be three events happening at the same time in different parts of the world, three different countries. So first of all, let's go to the Sea Bottom Axis and Allies event that AAA X-Ray is hosting in Lelystad, Netherlands. I'm not sure AAA if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you can go on to accessandallies.org in the events of the section of the forums and get more information about that. But it's happening on September 23rd at AAA X-Ray's house. They're playing Global 40, and there will be food and drinks there. I'm not sure if you bring your own or if he's going to provide them. It's going to be 15 euros to enter that tournament. So I know there's lots of people in the Netherlands. Grasshopper was talking about it on one of his recent videos, and I know when you have a YouTube channel, you can see where the people are from and what ages they are and things like that, male, female. It breaks it down. You can see who your viewers are, or even not just viewers, but people who have viewed your videos. They don't even have to be subscribers of yours. But I get a lot of views from the Netherlands, and so I know that the game is big in the Netherlands, and I encourage everyone from the Netherlands to get a hold of AAA X-Ray on either on his channel or which is called AAA X-Ray, or on accessandallies.org. There's a thread in the events section. Get a hold of him and go and take part in that event. Don't just watch the rest of us play on video in Toronto. At the very same time, there's going to be a tournament there. So check that out. Again, there's another one down in Long Island. This is the third Battle of Long Island. It sounds like these guys have a really good time down there. There's a church down in Whitestone, New York. It's probably in the basement of the church or something like that they play at. But on September 23rd in Whitestone, New York, they play mostly Global 40, but they'll play other games as well. And that's $10 a person. Mustang 440 is the one who created the post on that in the events section of the forums. So I would assume that he is either the organizer or is one of the organizers of the event. So I think he said that they usually have about 26 people or something like that go to that. But he makes posts afterwards, after the events have happened, and it sounds like they have a lot of fun there. So that's a whole day's worth. That goes from 10 to 10. But he said they'd never kick them out, so who knows? It could go after 10 o'clock on the 23rd in Whitestone, New York, and I hope you guys have a really good time there. What else do we got here? Oh, there's a new event. Desert Admiral is setting up. This will be the first time, and so there's not a lot of details on it yet, because this is I believe it's his first time hosting an event, but it's one that he would like to get going and have keep going, and it's going to be in Las Vegas. So of course, if you go to this event, and you might want to spend a week there, not just a few days for the tournament, and check out all the things that you can do in Las Vegas. If you're a big Celine Dion fan or whatever, right? There's always lots to do in Las Vegas, and so anyway, it's the Axis and Allies Global 40 convention. 2000 Las Vegas, put on by Desert Admiral. It looks like the dates are going to be March 16th to 18th, and it will be at the Eastside Cannery in Las Vegas. So he's going to be at the Grasshopper Invitational next month, or is it this month? Jesus, it's September already? I don't know. I've been off for a few days after I smashed my finger. So it's September 23rd that the Grasshopper Invitational starts, and Desert Admiral is going to be there. And I think he's going to have more details at that point. So watch the events section of the forums if you're interested in going to Las Vegas, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. He says that the Eastside Cannery has a lot of space available, so they'll be able to set up games, lots of games there. And then, of course, there's the Grasshopper Invitational. That's the only other event that I can see in the events section of the forums on accessandallies.org. And that's one that I will be going to. And it's going to be held at the Toronto Six-Sided Dice Convention. And that'll be at the Legion Branch 13 in Toronto. This is going to be a great event. It's sold out now. There's 20 teams, two-person teams. I'm on a team with Sired Blood, and there's two different. There's the enthusiasts and the hobbyists. Uh, we are going to be in the enthusiast division. That's the more experienced players division. There's going to be lots and lots of prizes. This event is going to be well sponsored, and I'm sure that this isn't the first time you've heard about it. I'm not going to give too many details on it because Grasshopper does such a good job of promoting his event, and he's given you all kinds of information on it. And if you need more information, just follow his channel, and I'm sure that you already do. But yeah, Larry Harris is going to be there. He's going to be demoing his game War Room, and you can actually sit in on this and play War Room with Larry Harris. That's the creator of Axis and Allies. I mean, that could be a once in a lifetime opportunity for most people out there. Some people are lucky enough you talk to online that they've play tested with him before. But for those of you who have never met him like me, it's a great opportunity to sit down and play a game with him. And I'm not going to be able to do that, of course, like everybody else there. I will be playing in the tournament, and so there's not going to be any time. But I'm for sure going to go over and check it out. You know, when it's not my turn, I'm going to go and take a look and hopefully meet Larry if he's not too busy. So anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun. And Grasshopper is also partnered with Historical Board Gaming. Um, Historical Board Gaming is going to provide a number of prizes, not the least of which is going to be 17 versions of, or 17 um, uh, boxes of Amerika, the Amerika game, and I have two of them already. I had one already that I played, and then I made a trade with a guy um, from Arizona for my old Global 40 map. He sent me that and a few other things. And the reason I wanted to take that in trade is because the sculpts are so nice in that game. Like I use a number of the sculpts um, in my Axis and Allies Global 40 game. Like here's one here. This is the Amerika strategic bomber that I use. That's one of the sculpts that comes in. And the sculpts are generally nicer than the sculpts that you get in Axis and Allies. They're a little more detailed. And so if you're lucky enough to get in to not just the finals, but the semifinals, there's going to be um, I guess 16 players who are going to make it into onto the final day on Monday, and all of those players are going to get an edition of the Amerika game. And like I said, it's a good game, but even more so, you can take those pieces out and you can use them with your Axis and Allies game as well. But I don't think anybody's going to be disappointed with that game. And for those players who do win them, if you look back through my videos, I did a how-to series on how to play Amerika, and in on the video, I think it's the first one, how to play. I had taken the time to make up these charts here, or not charts, but they're more like cheat sheets. So when you're playing the game, it just goes through. It goes through like here's the Americans or the Allies. So rather than just there's a couple of steps that are listed in the instructions. I broke those down. So I'll just show you here. So I broke them down in detailed things so that you don't forget anything. And I've laminated them and everything, but you don't have to. But what these are really good for is when you're first learning the game, rather than having to keep opening the rules book just to follow along and everything, read the rules book and understand it and everything. And then for your first few times playing, and you can use these at any time, but then just follow along with these because it'll tell you exactly what to do on your turn so that you don't forget anything. And so that will be helpful for you, and also very helpful if you learn to play how to play the game, and then you're going to try to teach somebody else. That would be great for them to have one of these cards. But it's a little bit different for the Allies and for Germany and Japan. So it's not just the Allies that I made one up for. I made them up for Germany and Japan as well. And I think I did a pretty good job with these, if I do say so myself. So those would be helpful, and you don't have to laminate them or anything. Like you can just print them off on your printer at home and just use them like that. That would be good enough for you. But that'll be helpful because there's going to be a a lot of players getting, or a lot of guys getting a new Amerika game. So just so you know, those are a free download on my channel that will help you when you're learning how to play the game, and even moving forward. Anyway, what else do we got here? Yeah, I didn't. This isn't going to be a very long video. I mostly just wanted to talk about the events that are coming up, and the events that have already happened. Really looking forward to it. I talked to Grasshopper on Tuesday morning. This is the morning after I hurt myself. He goes, "Oh no, you're not. Does this mean you're not coming?" And I said, "Well, it's going to take a whole lot more than just a banged up finger to keep me out of this. I've been looking forward to it since the day that it was announced. I'm looking forward to playing in the tournament, and looking forward to meeting all the people that I talk to online, people that on accessandallies.org, and the people that comment on my videos, and my subscribers. I had one of my subscribers come to town last weekend. We played 24 hours in 3 days. We played a Global 40 game, and we played a 1914 game. And I was going to pack up the 1914 game, but as you can see, I've got lots of time on my hands. I'm not going. The doctor says I'll be off work about 6 to 8 weeks. So, and I don't want to make a bunch of strategy videos for Global 40 right now. Just before I go to my tournament or Grasshopper tournament. I don't want to make a bunch of strategy videos before that. I don't think it'd be fair to my teammate, for one thing, to have everybody knowing what's going through my mind just before I get there. Both of us have made strategy videos in the past, but those are just one strategy for each nation, and there's so many different ones that you can use. But I don't want to start listing them, before I go to this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that 1914 board set up, and I'll talk a bit about the strategy in that, because the one video that I did make, the game, I showed a game that had finished already, and I kind of more or less just described what had happened in that game. I'd like to do a little bit about the strategy of that game. I think it's a good time to do that, because then it allows me to make videos. I've got nothing else to do right now, so it's going to allow me to make videos that isn't going to give any strategy away that I'm going to be using in the tournament. So that's a good time. And I couldn't believe how many people, how fast the views were going up on that 1914 video that I made. So obviously there's a lot of interest in that game, a lot more so than I thought there'd be. I'll go through. I have Zeppelins that I have for that game. So I'll go through a little bit talk about the Zeppelins for that game, and I'm not sure what else. You know what? I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna go set that board up, and just make a few videos. I don't really know where that's gonna lead me. So look for that over the next week or two, is videos on 1914, and also once I'm done with the videos that I make for that, then I'll reset up the Global 40 board. I'm actually having a lot of fun talking about rules in my Know the Rules series on Global 40. And I think that's is a big help to a lot of the players out there. The rules that I'm going through are obscure rules. The last one, in fact, was something that I've never seen before, but it was a rule that somebody asked about, and it was clarified by Krieghunt, and it had to do with repairing your capital ships when your capital is gone. Apparently you can't, but the UK, it's quite a long explanation, but people just don't seem to, not everybody seems to be understanding it. They can't wrap their heads around that the UK is one unified force. It's just purchasing and placing and repairing that are separate. That you have to do separate from playing the UK pieces as one large nation. But I think that they're starting to get it anyway. It's been explained a whole bunch of different times by Krieg Hunt, and so anyway, it's things like that I'm trying to make videos on, because sometimes it's easier when you see somebody demonstrate it on the board than if you just read about it. I find it easier anyway, and I think that many other people will. So I'm enjoying doing that, and it's helping me to gain a better understanding of the rules as well, and to figure out new moves like the sneaky Anzac Declaration of War. So I encourage you to, if you haven't already, to check out those videos for Know the Rules. And I'll get back to that, like I said, after I do a few 1914 videos. Anyway, I don't think I got much more for you today. I'll just start uploading this video, and then I'll go set up the 1914 board. I don't have much else to do today. I've finished all my doctor's appointments and investigations and everything for now, and I don't have anything more to do until next week involved with my finger. So I'll get to the 1914 videos right away. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. Take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.